Welcome back to Hanoi, Vietnam, where we're closing out groups with a battle between the top two teams, Korea's SKT and the undefeated IG. In what could be a preview of the finals, the LCK champions look to continue their surge and avenge the devastating loss to IG from the first time that they met.
And I think the avenging part is oh so important, because obviously in terms of standing implications, everything's locked in at this point. But SKT, the amount of pride, the fact that they're coming off a world record loss and a humbling, means that they're going to be hungry to show something against IG this time.
And I think it's going to be more standard, because we saw the last time these two teams played that they went for the Stone Taric. It felt like a reach. They said that they weren't used to playing against it. This was something that had come across from the Western teams. And I think that they resoundingly found the answer of whether it fits the style that they were looking for, especially into Invictus Gaming. So I think that we're going to see a little bit more of what we saw more recently. I still think that SKT have some flair. You know, we've seen things like the Aurelia. We see the early game focus Lee Sin. I don't think they need to reach for these picks like they did the first time.
No, but I think it's important that they play still to their style a little bit, like make sure you're a probably better team fight comp, because the thing is, they need to pick up a win against one of these other teams that was seeded into the tournament directly. They haven't got a win versus G2. They're 0-1 versus IG right now, and so that's actually kind of scary, where it's like, yes, you are great at picking up wins at teams you are better than, definitively, but like you haven't beat some of these other teams that you are actively contesting.
I mean, if you consider that SKT is second and assume IG picks TL, it is kind of scary to think that you have the 0-2 record against G2, but a win over the #1 team would do a lot in service of, you know, kind of dissuading any doubts.
Yeah, and whilst a lot of teams are pointing to 2016 and the run that they went on there, even though they came through 4th, they were still able to go 1-1 versus RNG. They were still able to challenge the best team in the group stage at that stage of the tournament. So I think that this will be a great heat check for SKT going into that best of 5.
And I think the heat check is important because they've had that consistent run now of 3 games against teams that they 2-0'd, and they beat them resoundingly. There was also a lot of internal consistency. If you just look at how they played, their side of the matchup, rather than mistakes of the enemy, they played really well. But it matters to a point, and then now the payoff is what SKT fans have been waiting for.
Yeah, and I think if there's one role that SKT would love to come into this game with and then absolutely blitz, it's going to be the jungle position. I think that if in this matchup, Clid can run over Ning and really set the tone of the early game, that will give them a lot of hope, because we've mentioned that these are the 2 best junglers in the tournament, and going up against someone like Smithy or Jankos, who seems to be a class below in that best of 5, you know, this is how you start building that.
And we did a lot of table setting about, you know, rookie versus FLICKR last time. It ended up just being about the early game. It went away from individual matchups. And we could have Khan versus TheShy be the defining matchup. But Ning versus Clid will be the path towards any victory. And one little stat, because we've talked about kind of rookies' history against FLICKR, Ning and Clid, of course, tumbled a lot, IG versus JDG. And even though, if you talk to the LPL analysts, they might say that overall they would rate Clid as a more impressive jungler over the course of the regular year, Clid has never beaten IG, ever, in his history when he was over in China. So when they actually fought on the Rift, there's unfinished business there as well.
An individual obstacle then for him to overcome. But of course, we've talked throughout this group stage about the fact that Clid is the star player for SKT in this tournament up to this point. And so will he be able to match or even outperform Ning in that early game?
And I think that's the really important part, because when you look at the last time they played, there were almost no proactive lanes for him to play off of, and so he tried his best to protect them, but against how aggressive Ning was and how aggressive all their lanes were, there was nothing he could do, and I think he still had a fine game in that actual last matchup. There was just nothing that he could actually do about how it went.
No one has a fine game when you lose in 16 minutes. I'm jumping in right now. No one played well. The house was on fire. Everything was on fire. Even in the top lane, you know, where TheShy was 0-1-0 or something and won the game, like, nothing was good.
There's no jungler you could have put in there, though. That's how bad that things were going in the lanes themselves.
That's a different statement, I think. For sure, that's fine.
I think we also have to talk about this from the IG perspective. Yes, they already took down SKT in a historic victory, but we have heard from the players themselves how much it would mean to them to take this tournament in the face of SKT and FLICKR. So mounting another victory here, and a clean one at that to close the group stage, would be big.
Because let's be clear, it's the LPL that's had a good year so far. Now Invictus Gaming get to show that they're the dominant team from that region. They've shared it with RNG, and now I think that this is the time where IG can really cement themselves as a new dynasty in League of Legends.
Because they actually create another record. They will be the first team to go 10-0, that clean run through group stages, something that no LCK team has ever done, or RNG, for example, back in 2016. So given that, to set another piece of history, to be the first to do it, that's something the LCK could never supplant, is another thing they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, SKT is fighting to maintain that they are potentially one of the best region in the world, but also fighting off the third seed right now with G2 and potentially overtaking them as well. Like, if Korea drops all the way to the third position, it would be an insane drop from just a year ago.
And I think with that, you've perfectly set me up to ask for your predictions, because really it comes down to whether or not you think IG will complete that perfect 10-0 in the predictions. We're not going to do it one at a time. We're throwing them all up at the same time, and I see that Papa Smithy is putting his faith behind the LCK champions.
I think I have to. I think if you look at the gameplay that SKT has put out in their last 3 games, their internal consistency, the fact that they're making drafting adaptations, if I look at that and then look at IG, who've kind of stumbled into 9-0, which sounds like a rubbish thing to say, but obviously there's been a lot of chances to beat them. I think the SKT that took to the Rift, if they can recreate that, it's a big if. It may not happen, but I think SKT can get over the line.
I think that we've seen that when IG wants to take League of Legends serious right now, they're unbeatable.
True.
And I think the question is, like, how much do they value the 10-0? As soon as we see drafts, I'm expecting this team to come out, like, really swinging. This means a lot to them. As Raz said, whilst they can talk about happy games, when push comes to shove, they want to be the best team in the world. And I think this goes further to building their legacy than anything they can possibly do right now.
Right, they play to the level of their opponents, and SKT's level is the most historic organization in League of Legends history, with FLICKR being the greatest player ever. So that's the level they're aiming to beat in this game. And that's why I think IG will actually step up to the plate.
Because whilst we've talked about happy games, this team has also been dominant when they need to be dominant. And yes, they've had their fair share of games when they've let teams in, but the last time they played SKT, they did not let them anywhere near anything on Summoner's Rift.
We just want as many games of these two teams as possible. The first one kind of got stopped before it ever got started. Let's just let this one roll. Give me 30 minutes of these two teams duking it out.
Okay, if SKT is going to hand that one singular loss to IG in the group stage, Papa Smithy, what's the 10-second speech you give them heading into Champions Select or the game itself to make it happen?
Just keep it simple. They took too many risks last time. Keep it simple, target a lane, and use that to snowball them out.
You heard it here, SKT. That's what you got to do. For IG, let's see if they can remain undefeated as we leave it to the casters for the last game of the MSI group stage.
Invictus Gaming are chasing the perfect 10-0, but it's important to note they already have the best group stage record in the history of this format. RNG and SKT went 8-2 to close out their 10 games. At 9-0, they are already superior, and now they're chasing the perfect groups.
And SK Telecom used their first ban on the Draven that handed them the most historic loss of an international tournament. 16 minutes, Invictus Gaming took that victory. They will not have the Draven this time around to do it.
Look at these bans coming out, the Nico to follow up as well. Does this suggest that SKT are looking at perhaps the Sona Taric once again? Like, when you think about possible options,
my God.
I mean, they are on the blue side. They do have the priority. A lot of flex picks are up and available, but IG are doing a good job of just taking those off the board. So you have to wonder, do SKT say the draft wasn't the problem? It was just a matter of execution.
That would be the saltiest run back that I have ever seen if SKT went with the Sona Taric. I don't expect it to happen. I think they're just banning out the Draven because it is a strong bottom lane bully for early on.
And there's the Taric ban.
Just in case.
IG was saying, wait a minute, they might be doing this. This will allow SKT to go on to the Ryze, arguably FLICKR's most historic champion, something that he does have the world skin on. Not that he'll look to use it, but the expectations are that this will be in the hands of FLICKR.
Hell, he's got a YouTube highlight video. He's got a movie almost made with him as Ryze. Shy is going to be able to lock in Sylas in answer.
And the Rek'Sai is up and available along with the Jarvan. You would expect Ning to steer more towards the Rek'Sai, as that tends to fit more into his wheelhouse.
Yeah, definitely. He always looks to go very deep, trading carry for his own life later in the game with the Rek'Sai, and controlling the early game goes hand in hand.
Let's see what he decides to lock in. Over on the other side, SK Telecom locking in the Jarvan for Clid, his second most played champion this year. 13 games with a win ratio of 92%. We'll find out what they lock in to back it up. It looks like the Braum.
Thank you very much for leading with that quick shot, because I wanted to follow it up with Clid, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best Jarvan player in the world. His impact in teamfights is genuinely phenomenal. And if you guys get an opportunity to go back and watch the finals against Griffin, his play was fantastic in enabling SKT to do what they often do so well, which is play immaculate team.
And thank you for making that point, Vidius, because I was going to follow that up with it is a perfect combination with Ryze as a solo laner. Whether it's FLICKR or not, all you have to do is point and click Rune Prison. That guarantees your EQ knockup and guarantees you a successful gank.
But while we're talking about combinations, while SKT get themselves the Jarvan and the Ryze, Invictus Gaming get themselves one of their best bot lanes, JackeyLove's Kai'Sa and Baolan's Galio.
Definitely does have huge repercussions for later on in the game. Very potent team fighting from that duo.
All right, Ning's Rek'Sai has been banned away. Teddy is losing access to Kalista and Tavares, so we need to see what he decides to lock in. Ezreal still up and available, his most played champion by far this year. And SK Telecom will have one additional champ to remove from the pool. So let's see if it's going to be another jungler, and it is. It's Ning's Lucian.
Looks like Invictus Gaming are forcing SKT onto the Ezreal pick right now for Teddy. They can just lock in their jungle.
He could go Vi if they're still looking for AD.
Or the Camille, maybe?
Yeah.
To end up with the Galio.
It seems a little bit risky to me to not have a fallback pattern and go with the Camille, but Camille Galio is always a great dive.
Do we like Xin Zhao? It's Harvard is locked in, Kobe.
I like Vi more for sure, but I'm super biased. Xin Zhao definitely does provide the early dueling. For a guy like Ning, though, Xin Zhao is kind of scary for me because Xin Zhao does not have any way to jump over walls or escape from poor situations.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What makes you think that Ning's ever going to want to escape from poor situations, Kobe?
Well,
this man is an all-in, do-or-die kind of player.
Now his decision tree will be very easy because you charge in and then you try and kill your target.
That's the game plan. Meanwhile, for SKT, they've rounded out their draft. Teddy actually picking himself up the Lucian, so they do want to have a bit of aggression down towards the bot side of the map. Lucian, Braum, one of the most iconic duos, can match up fairly well against the Kai'Sa Galio. I actually expect them to have a little bit of lane priority once they get a couple of levels under their belt. And Rookie actually rounding out the draft with his most iconic Zoe that he's had so much success with over in the LPL.
4 games, 100% win ratio on that champion, but it is a different look here with that Zoe and that Xin Zhao for Invictus.
The thing that I love about Rookie Zoe is how insanely aggressive he is. Back in the day, when mid laners used to play up against FLICKR, they used to say you could never do anything because it felt like that you were constantly pressured. When Rookie gets his hand on Zoe, I'm expecting him to do that to FLICKR himself.
Problem for Zoe is she does not have any escapes built into the kit and is a perfect target for a Rune Prison Jarvan combination. So if he's going to play very aggressively, they're going to need warding, and Ning is going to have to spend time around that mid lane to allow him the room, allow him the face-off with FLICKR that he has wanted for so long. Rookie said the tournament doesn't mean the same if he doesn't go through FLICKR.
And he's got the matchup to do it. I'm hearing an echo chamber with the Xin Zhao and the Zoe. Go forward, go all in, and you are not getting out. Invictus Gaming cannot afford to make any mistakes. They are looking for the perfect group stage. And welcome back to the final group stage game of the main group stage event. It is SK Telecom looking to pick up their first win against one of the pre-seeded teams. Mark said it on the analyst desk so eloquently that SK Telecom have beat the teams ranked below them, but went 0-2 against G2 Esports, and they are 0-1 against IG. Can they give Invictus Gaming their first loss of MSI?
Well, this will also be a big test for SKT as well, because In the second half of the group stages, honestly, we've seen G2 falter. They've been inconsistent, they have struggled. And now SKT, with that second place spot, even though they lost to G2 Esports, if they put up a convincing performance against IG, they can confirm in the minds of viewers that they are in fact the second best team coming out of the groups, and that they are one of the scary teams moving into playoffs.
JackeyLove reminding everyone that they are defending world champions here, aiming to set another international tournament record. They've already set one with the 16-minute victory, but a 10-0 group stage is on the horizon if they can take this victory. And Rookie and FLICKR already trading, not disappointing.
No, not at all. FLICKR's using those overloads one after the other into Rookie, continues to chuck them out, or the spell flux rather. Rookie backs away though.
When I see that, it means that both mid laners to me are confident that their junglers are going to be pathing around mid lane early. They're like, yes, I know we're going to trade for this because Clid is coming. Ah, yes, me too, because Ning is on the way.
But I really want to watch how Rookie plays this matchup, because one of the most obnoxious things about Zoe is the different trajectories that you can set up with your Q, and this is what Rookie is so good at. He doesn't try and rely on the range of the Q, he just tries to use the multiple angles that you can throw them out to get this small chip damage because of how low cost the mana is on the Q at early level.
Well, you want to respect the range a little bit more because that one shorted and it didn't hit.
Yeah, you can't short your Qs, it prevents a lot of damage. There's the Lucian Braum getting some good stun damage onto JackeyLove and Baolan as they are being shoved into the bottom lane. Rookie is pushing mid. He's got the flash and the cleanse available to him, and jungler's not there just yet.
So we will be keeping our eyes on where the junglers look to prioritize early on, but want to backtrack to the bot lane. We talked about it in the draft where Kai'Sa and Galio, they will have that early push because of all their additional wave clear, but once Teddy and Mata get a couple of levels under their belt, that's when they can look to start playing aggressively. And notice, Teddy running the cleanse has that ability to remove both the Sleepy Trouble Bubble and the taunt that will come out from Baolan to allow them to play on the front line and get in the face of this IG duo.
Yeah, the cleanse is actually super useful in this matchup. If you save it, Galio goes for the all-in with the ignite coming down and the AoE taunt. Meanwhile, top side, we've got Jarvan in lane.
All right, TheShy's going to try to escape right now. Very nice knockup from Clid. Reply damage is keeping TheShy up. An easy first blood picked up by Clid.
Clid has been insane this tournament. Raz, at the beginning of the day, put him... Oh, here we go. Ning wants to answer.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble panel store. The defensive flash from FLICKR. He's escaped over the wall. Goes so low. Teleport now being channeled as TheShy's coming in. Ning flashes away to safety. Remember, there's no fallback pattern. He does pick up the kill. That's 2 for SKT. Now Rookie, he's looking to chase down FLICKR, who's low on mana. Uses the stolen flash to escape.
This game is so hype. I can hear the crowd screaming louder than you. Quick shot.
Beautiful stuff in the early game from both teams, but it is SKT that lead in the kills for now. Look at the pathing that Clid takes up towards the top side. TheShy thinks that he is safe because of that ward that he's positioned in the river, but they had information on where it was. So he goes behind the Baron pit. They set up the stun beautifully with Khan, and that means it's easy to get the knockup, and TheShy knows he's dead.
Clid is just so intelligent, and the communication that you pointed out there with Khan, telling him where the ward is so he can get around it, is key. Then FLICKR here has a big outplay onto Ning, where he roots him, then flashes over so he takes 2 tower shots, and Clid will be able to pick up the kill. But that teleport that is channeling right now is TheShy looking for his revenge onto the jungler that just ganked him, and now he's wearing his own double buffs.
And now, as we jump out of the replay, it's plus 400 gold to SK Telecom. TheShy with double buffs, and the kill to his name is up in the top lane, but the 2 kills that SKT picked up are in Clid's back pocket. It is a plus 12 CS for Rookie in the mid lane, so he's staying at least even on gold with that assist from FLICKR. And as I look at the mini-map, Clid is posturing around the bottom lane, but there's a ward in that bottom brush, so IG will have information if he steps forwards.
See Rookie continuing to play aggressive, more trading down towards the bot side of the map though.
All right, a lot of plasma damage coming out. Mata forced to run away for his life. Summoner spell still available. Baolan's Ignite is on cooldown, but flashes are still up, and Clid, if he steps out the tri-bush, he will get spotted.
Such good awareness here from Clid, recognizing that there might be vision in the river. Doesn't want to give away his positioning just yet. They're waiting for Mata to heal back up, but notice Rookie on his way down towards the bot side of the map. Ning hanging around as well. Just gonna get a bit of vision down, so all of us can calm down just a little bit as the game returns to a neutral state.
Again, a lot of the time in the early game here, pre 10 minutes, you'll see junglers hovering around lanes. and those are very likely counter ganks. Because there's not deep vision, and they don't know where the enemy jungler is, if you have a very low health laning teammate, then hanging around expecting the offensive move can sometimes pay off very big. But we see multiple times here, Clid walking away after there is no offensive action.
And of course, because there's no action, it means Rookie can keep pushing in this middle lane. He's got himself that Super Soaker picked up from the minions. He's built up a 17 CS lead because of the pressure applied to FLICKR. Multiple ganks, multiple attempts. On the flip side, TheShy is down 20 CS because he gave up first blood and was forced to teleport away to help his team out. It's still a very close game, but you can see there's advantages being accrued at different parts of the map.
So for me, one of the big question marks I had for SKT coming into the tournament was how would they handle the heavy skirmish style of Invictus Gaming and G2 Esports, as JackeyLove forced a flash out of what could have been a dangerous situation there. But what we saw is that SKT struggled. They couldn't find wins against G2. They've fallen behind IG. But what I've loved about SKT so far in this game is they've actually been very proactive in the early game. They have looked for a lot of these skirmishes, and surprisingly, they're actually matching IG and a lot of the early game plays that they're trying to make. And this goes to show the amount of growth that this team often makes in these international tournaments.
And this is why so many people were so happy with the way that Clid has changed this organization. Really aggressive, offensive looks for him, and deserved praise so far.
Well, 2-1-0. Ocean Drake picked up just after 7 minutes. That's going to be hugely valuable into the likes of a Zoe and a Sylas, and extra regen on the side of SK Telecom. And of course, they are returning back to lane.
And guess what? We are getting a warrior Jarvan. I have had enough of the Cinderhulk Jarvans being the main tank, just jumping in with the Cataclysm. Gonna be a warrior here with the Electrocute. That should be a tip-off. Clid definitely gonna at least have some early damage spike.
And I really like that highlight showing how SK Telecom have sped up the pace of their game and over the last few games shown that they are more willing to play more aggressive, play more in your face, and look at the minimap. Clid is here and Rookie was making his way down, but he's backed away for now.
This is a perfect setup for Clid. Has hit level 6 right now. JackeyLove sitting on no flash. He can use the ultimate to get out of that situation. But Baolan, he is level 5, doesn't have the ultimate to help protect him either.
And of course, while this engage happens, Baolan's going to be in trouble, get caught up by the taunt and stunned down. Clid's got Cataclysm, toys with the idea, decides not to chase. If you read the haiku, IG and T1, 8-minute Bloodthirster, game over, yeah. Anybody that was watching Countdown will have known that we played some haikus. Go check them out at LOL Esports and send us your MSI haiku. And just a reminder that this was because Invictus Gaming beat SK Telecom in 16 minutes, setting the fastest international game record at a Riot event.
And we've already passed 8 minutes in this game, and I see no Bloodthirsters, so looks like we are in the clear. Not gonna have a repeat here. Topside, though, has been heavily con-favored after the early gank from Clid.
Ning. Now, we saw the trade.
Got no ultimate.
Khan used his Slicing Maelstrom. Ning's gonna dash forward, gonna look for that 3-talent strike, and
by flash.
the knock up just yet. Wind becomes lightning, flashes forward, gets stunned under the tower. Khan managed to get 3 from the passive, and no kill secured.
Wow, I thought that was so clean from Ning, getting a preemptive flash to land the ulti and then get that auto attack, but that stun came out just at the last second to prevent that final auto so Khan could walk away with his life. Beautiful stuff being demonstrated from both members there, but ultimately it's SKT that walk out with their lives.
Yeah, I thought that was insane from Khan, actually. He really was balancing on that knife's edge. Most people just early flash there to avoid the initial knockup from the 3-talent strike. But he tries to bait him in under the turret with the 3rd charge for the stun, and he ends up trading flashes, actually getting Nings as well.
All right, so there was a couple of tower plates picked up in the top lane, 3 of them secured in favor of Invictus, which means the gold is bang on even. You can see the head-to-head matchups, even in every single lane right now, as we've crested the 10-minute mark, and Teddy and Mata, they're going forward. The taunt comes down from Baolan as he uses the stopwatch. Realm Warp will deliver FLICKR towards JackeyLove and Baolan. Here's a teleport from TheShy. He's actually going to use the stolen Slicing Maelstrom. That bought enough time to kill Teddy. Now JackeyLove and Baolan, they're They're trying to turn this back around. All of a sudden, TheShy has gone low. Sleepy Trouble Bubble finds just the minions. Not going to find a target. Paddlestar was not going to be able to kill anybody yet. And in the turnaround, IG get one.
10 players in the bottom lane after that one, and SKT did not have vision in that brush, so Baolan escaped with his life. Now it is actually IG taking turret plates for themselves.
IG continuing to keep up the pressure and just quick response from the top lane to immediately turn this round in IG's favor. The fact that he still had the Kennen ultimate, the fact that he was in a prime position as well. Let's start off by noting how SKT, they actually have the trade advantage. JackeyLove slightly oversteps, and this is when the all-in happens.
Key that JackeyLove did kill that control ward, because now when they have focus down Baolan, FLICKR comes down with the teleport, but they don't have vision, so he's throwing Qs into the darkness. Meanwhile, TheShy comes in with the Kennen ultimate, gets the kill for Invictus Gaming, and with Rookie and Ning coming down, they chase SKT back.
As soon as we jump out of the replay, already both junglers posturing around mid lane, looking for opportunities. Flash available for both Rookie and FLICKR. And Ning's actually going to step forward here. Audacious charges in, gets the 3-talent strike. Crescent Guard out, already taken down. Baolan has now joined the fray. Clid is going to escape for now. The burn is ticking, and there goes Rookie. Manages to use that portal and auto. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
And the only thing that shifted it in favor of Invictus Gaming was the fact that Baolan had roamed down towards the mid lane. FLICKR felt like he could push that far up because he knew that he had the jungle support, and in a 2 versus 2, in a confined space with that extra CC, they were confident that they would win it out. So props for Baolan to looking for that roam and helping IG get a 1-for-1.
Definitely an awesome game here. Both teams looking to create these proactive plays. Long cooldown on the Galio ultimate early on, but successfully used there to find the counter kill. Meanwhile, he's gone right back to the bottom lane. Mata and Teddy trying to push out.
All right, both of these teams, of course, number 1 and number 2 from the group stage, and will be advancing to semi-finals. And SK Telecom marked improvement from the last time they played Invictus Gaming. It was back on day 3, if I recall correctly, or day 2. And I mean, the game was over by this point, right?
Very close.
Already into the
3
phase.
minutes left.
There we go. But it's just, it's great to see the development. It's great to see the growth. It's kind of terrifying as well. SK Telecom going to look to reclaim Korea's glory, and they need to do it by taking down IG.
But one thing that many analysts and fans have asked about IG is, are they playing at full power yet? Have they been truly tested? Right now, I feel like we're seeing it.
All right, slicing Maelstrom, he's slicing Maelstrom. TheShy will solo kill Khan. He is now on a killing spree on the Sylas at 3-1.
And the 0-7 Kennen from yesterday turns into a 3-1-0 Sylas. TheShy has come to play today, and he is showcasing why he is considered one of the best in the world.
Yep, takes most of the turret plates here. Only one left standing. And we'll get a replay of how he started this one off. Preemptively had already stolen the Kennen ultimate. This is definitely normal for the lane. Just goes for the all-in. Doesn't actually even land the stun there. Just walks up with the AoE range of the Kennen ultimate and runs him down.
Literally just bullies him out. More than enough damage to find that kill. Khan not showing enough respect to TheShy, and he ends up paying for it with his life.
All right, we have a trade of objectives though. Mountain Drake to IG, Rift Herald to SK Telecom. With all the plates that IG have picked up, they've got a 1,500 gold lead. And you can see some of the first big items they've collected over the last few minutes. Blade of the Ruined King for Teddy, Stormrazor, JackeyLove, Luden's Echo for Rookie. So we're starting to scale up. And Baolan and Ning, they're going to double team, work into the enemy bottom quadrant and place some wards. And I'm just looking, I'm waiting to see where Invictus Gaming can start their initiations. And anytime a Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands, you have to think there's a possibility.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of options here. Meanwhile,
all right, it's Clid that actually initiates first. Here comes Khan, slicing Maelstrom used. Ning tries to re-engage over the wall. Cleanse was stolen away there by Rookie, as now he's trying to back out. Baolan's ultimates are not available just yet. 6 plates to 2. As we've crested 15 minutes, and Ning goes down.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were worried about in Champion Select with the Xin Zhao. Not that flexible. If he's in the river like that, only thing he can do to get out is flash over the wall, still gets chased down, and another kill picked up here for SK Telecom. They can use that to move through the map.
And what impresses me so much about SKT is the fact that they've actually maintained vision all the way along the river, even though they haven't had priority on the top side of the map. This is what enabled them to actually make this play a reality, because there was no vision on Khan actually walking down. So even though Ning thought he was safe, in actuality, he wasn't. Oh, perfect. We have the replay. So you can actually see, if once again you look at your minimap, you'll notice that the Kennen has already made his way down towards the fight. This means that they end up in a 3 versus 2 situation, and while Ning thinks, hey, my mid laner is strong, I am strong, if they try to 2v2 us, we should win, it ends up being a numbers disadvantage.
And if you just look at the screen, there's control ones right in front of him, and not going to be able to see. Oh, that actually goes straight through the goalpost. But he still stops the back. They do see Ning on this ward as well, though, so I think all information on both sides.
And while we come out of the replay there, gentlemen, the tower in the top lane fell. TheShy has completely taken over that lane for now, 3-1. Proto Belt completed, Rift Herald has been thrown down, and now all of a sudden, Rookie takes so much damage. FLICKR just stands toe-to-toe with that red buff and holds Rookie in place. Now Ning, Baolan, TheShy, they've all congregated to try to thwart and deny any further push. I feel a little nervous for Rookie when he steps forward, but he's got the cleanse, he's got the flash, and he's playing on the razor's edge.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's got to get a little nervous. They step forward into FLICKR on Ryze. Bottom side, though, JackeyLove is the target. Gets hit with the Braum Q.
All right, here comes FLICKR as well. Realm Warp is available to him. The call is not right now. Ning was just north of the play, making his way down as 1 tower to 0, still 1,000 gold up in favor of Invictus. And it feels like it has been SK Telecom throwing and landing more punches across the map, but you cannot deny the impact that TheShy has had, not only in his teleport plays, but also in his own lane.
Yeah, even if it might feel that way, Invictus Gaming still coming out ahead in the gold. So many of those turret plates and the actual turret itself being killed on the top side is such a big advantage for them. A lot of money being funneled into Sylas. This champion scales so incredibly well. Everyone loves to talk about the level 16 ultimate cooldown being insanely low. There are actually so many game-breaking ultimates for him to choose to steal. Braum, Kennen, Jarvan, even Lucian all have viability.
What would you like to see Invictus Gaming do with their composition? Obviously, TheShy can unlock one of those side lanes, but with the Zoe, the Xin, it's a slightly different combination.
So when you're playing with the Zoe, one of the best things that she provides is utility and poke, largely because of her Sleepy Trouble bubble, but also because she can use her ultimate to just dip and dive over walls, have a quick peek, see what's going on, and then jump back into Fog of War to kind of make mysteries for the enemy team. But they do actually have a lot of strong team fighting components, and while they can keep TheShy off on a side lane to generate pressure, I actually think they have no issue just grouping up and looking for skirmishes or just looking for fights around objectives, because around the 2 items, this composition from IG is actually very strong. So I don't think they mind scaling, as so many of their members are only going to get stronger as the game carries on.
Well, you can see SK Telecom grouping around Drake because it's up in 35 seconds. Mata will find a Winter's Bite. Justice Punch buys some space for Baolan as the tower is going low. Clid clearing out the vision, and look at the minimap. Ning and Rookie making their way down the river. It's very clear to me that SK Telecom want to contest the dragon. That's a flash over the wall from Rookie. Does not want to get caught in that Rune Prison.
And that's a real flash. That is not a Zoe picked up with Spell Thieves on W flash. He was pincered there between Clid and FLICKR. Has to burn a very key summoner right before the dragon spawn.
We want to give some props to FLICKR as well. Remember that he was at a pretty significant early deficit at the beginning of this game with all the ganks and pressure that was thrown his way. But right now, he's done a fantastic job of closing that gap. He actually has a level advantage over Rookie as the Dragon is kicked off.
All right, Dragon is secured. Realm Warp is going to deliver FLICKR and Clid into the face of Baolan and JackeyLove. The Justice Punch was interrupted, and here comes Cod. Slicing Maelstrom locks up Ning and TheShy. They get knocked into the air. That's a shutdown before TheShy can do anything. Ning follows suit. SK Telecom get 3.
It's a clean sweep for SKT, and they're going to be able to take the blue buff and bottom tower pressure after that.
This all started with Rookie losing his flash in the river and Ning going back to base. For some reason, the bot lane of IG felt that they could move in and try and get some vision, maybe contest, maybe poke. That bought in the rest of IG to overcommit, and that allowed SKT to find a beautiful fight where they're now looking for the mid-tier 1.
All right, Rookie has no flash, remember. Here comes Baolan. We'll buy some time with the entrance. The taunt will hold a few SKT members in place, but FLICKR turns it back around. Room President overloads and takes a tower down in the process. 2 kills and a tower to FLICKR.
Clid has 100% kill participation on the Jarvan and 6 of the last hits to his name. This guy has just been outstanding this tournament. He picks up the dragon here, then SKT turn and fight. Teddy and Mata chase off Baolan and JackeyLove. They get the kill onto Galio first, and then once Khan comes in with the ultimate, stuns them up and baits them in.
And this is one of the biggest criticisms that has been thrown towards Invictus Gaming. When one member starts to fight, the rest of them always follow. So the moment that their duo was in trouble, they tried to save him. And the same thing here. Rather than just leave Rookie to die, Baolan ultis in to try and keep his mid laner alive, and they end up giving 2 kills over. SKT are far more coordinated, and they're punishing the over-aggression that is coming out from Invictus Gaming.
As soon as we come out of this replay, I have to give some shout-outs to Raz. He put his top 5 players of the group stage a couple days ago, and he put his group stage MVP with Clid being the #1 player, and he just continues to show up each and every consecutive game. SK Telecom are now 2,500 gold in the lead. They got themselves 2 dragons, they're equal on towers. And even though Invictus Gaming were looking very competitive earlier, SKT have now accelerated ahead, but they cannot afford to make any mistakes. The comp from IG can very quickly punish.
The player I want to draw our viewers' eyes to is JackeyLove. This guy is still 0-0-1. He's completed his 2 items, and he is the consistent benchmark that can help turn things around when things start to falter for Invictus Gaming. They have been in bigger deficits than this before, and this man has been able to bring them back to victory.
Definitely will be so big if Kaisa can get a big ultimate in there to allow the rest of the team a little bit of room here to finish up some kills on the tower. That one's going to go down in mid lane and open up some possibilities here. Invictus Gaming see Clid running out of the jungle. They know it's a dangerous area.
They're trying to chase him down. Clid does have that Guardian Angel to back up his warrior, and Sean FLICKR pushes down the tower in the bot lane and keeps shoving up. He's 3-0-5. Banshee's Veil as well as Archangel's completed. 2 big items for most players now, TheShy as well as JackeyLove and Teddy. So the arms race is continuing to scale up. And as it stands, we're now moving into this very scary portion of the game. There's not a huge amount of vision on the map, and teams have to contest around either the next Drake, which is 1.5 minutes, or obviously Baron. Or alternatively, just keep pushing those side lanes depending on how and where teams invest their resources.
And we already talked about it in draft, and I'm glad we're getting to see it in game. Clid is such a good Jarvan. Like, he is just so good. His awareness, his ability to set up plays, there's JackeyLove getting collapsed.
All right, he's got caught out. There's Ryze as well. FLICKR's gonna run him down. FLICKR and Mata easily sets it up. Now Baolan, he's gonna get a Justice Punch to the face on Clid, but it's just too far into the lane. SK Telecom do not hesitate, and they find 2 kills.
Yeah, JackeyLove tries to ult out of that one, but FLICKR puts him in prison. Now the Realm Warp into the Baron, and this is going to be SKT forcing it.
Rookie and Ning are nearby. There's a flash and a smite available to Ning. He's even on levels with Clid. Here comes TheShy with a cataclysm right into the pit. Khan is on the backside though, and a slicing maelstrom stuns everybody up. Baron's down to 2,000. Rookie's left alone, and then Baron will be secured by SK Telecom.
Now Rookie's on the chase here. Can Khan nail him? Not going to be able to catch Zoe. I just need to commend SK Telecom for their steady hands. They stopped DPS on Baron completely. Rookie also had a smite on Zoe. He has a chilling smite there with the Spell Thieves. So there's a possibility of either of them getting inside the pit. TheShy goes in to try and create chaos. Jumps in with the Cataclysm. Some AoE damage is affecting Baron, but you can see everyone on SKT avoiding it, focusing on the IG members to kill them off and kill off the possible smite threats first before they get it into execution range.
SKT have leveled up for this game. There were question marks around, would they be the second best team coming out of groups? How strong would they look? Would they be able to challenge the likes of Invictus Gaming and G2? Well, with this game, they are demonstrating what they are like when they are playing at full power. Clid's fantastic performance, FLICKR's fantastic performance, and Mata, the guy that's been setting up so many of these plays, it feels like the whole team is coming together.
And I have to throw my eyes over to Ning, the Xin Zhao, not having the level of impact that I've seen on many other champions that he's played on this tournament so far. The tower will fall in the bottom lane with Baron empowered minions. The dragon will be secured, and SKT are sieging 2 lanes.
Is that a spellbinder I see on Faker's Ryze, by the way? He is looking to create so many plays here. The extra speed can really put you into position to lock down those key prisons on the enemy carries like JackeyLove.
He is so strong on the Ryze right now, 3 levels over his lane counterpart after being put down so much in the lane. 6-0 and 6 is the current scoreline, but now both teams grouping up around the mid lane. Bot lane is being pressured in favor of SKT, and FLICKR still has his teleport, so they're going to send him up towards the top side of the map, start getting that one pushed in, and start closing in on the base of Invictus Gaming.
It is an 8,000 gold lead. It is a gigantic item advantage for SK Telecom right now, and Baron still up for another minute. The Baron power play already clocking in at over 3,000 gold. SK Telecom are answering a lot of critics and stepping up. They continue to improve, they continue to develop, and this is going to be a terrifying opponent for either Team Liquid or G2, because they will be facing him.
And I want to turn my eyes back towards FLICKR, highest level in the game. Peaks at 16 right now on Ryze, 2 ahead of Rookie. He is absolutely massive, and he is the one that Rookie and Invictus Gaming wanted to go through. He's not going to make it easy.
No, absolutely not. And especially when Rookie's playing his somewhat preferred or favored Zoe, something he's shown some very good performances on. Not quite the matchup that showcases that toe-to-toe in styles, but 1-1-1, Rookie down 45 CS, and currently Invictus Gaming are trying to defend multiple lanes. Baron only for another 20 seconds, so we'll get a little easier after that, but Various, it is all SKT with only 1 outer turret left.
Yeah, beautiful vision setup from the side of SKT. The map is completely dark right now for Invictus Gaming. They can see absolutely nothing other than a couple of the entrances and where their minions are slowly being ripped apart. The number of options that they have left to come back into this game are dwindling, and Rookie's almost there.
Oh my word! Teddy almost takes out Rookie before the fight begins. The culling chunks Ning down to 50%, and with the 2 of them backing, SK Telecom can sniff blood in the water. TheShy uses that stolen Braum ultimate from earlier to try and slow down SKT, but it simply isn't enough. The tower stands for now as the Baron has worn off.
Yeah, they got 70% of that tower's health by forcing Rookie back into the fountain and taking away most of the wave clear that Invictus Gaming had. That's a huge blow to their defenses.
Fantastic control from SK Telecom, just shy of 10,000 gold up. It's going to be an Infernal Drake coming up in about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. Baron in 140. And SKT, they don't need to risk it. They can play the vision game, they can play controlled, and force IG with this team comp that doesn't have the fallback plan that you talked about, Kobe, to come into them.
I'm looking at Invictus Gaming now, the team that was 1 game away from getting that perfect 10-0 group score. Never been done before at MSI. SKT and I believe RNG were the only other teams to get 8-2. So while they have broken a record, SKT are looking to get a small bit of revenge as we round out the group stage.
FLICKR's now 3 levels ahead of Rookie, by the way.
Yes.
And he almost has 600 AP without a completed death cap. Yes. Anyone in the side lane is going to be demolished by this Ryze. Not only that, with the extra shield of the Banshee's Veil and the Saracen Embrace here, he also has incredibly tanky stats.
FLICKR showcasing his proficiency on the champion. Meanwhile, Invictus Gaming continuing to play on the defense.
I don't mean to laugh, but proficiency on Ryze. It is probably his champion now. There's no doubt about it, and FLICKR is just going to try.
I mean, he's been out of the scene for a while right now. Other people have come into challenge for that spot.
I think that's fair. The international scene has not felt the wrath of FLICKR. Rookie himself, along with Invictus Gaming, said they want to win titles against SKT and against FLICKR specifically. TheShy will hijack himself a culling, and I'm waiting to see if IG can find initiation.
Now, the Baron will be the last-ditch effort for Invictus Gaming. That is the objective that they're waiting for, and that'll be the objective where they can perhaps claw the game back. Maybe they get a steal. Maybe they get a good fight. They need one of those things to happen if they want to turn this game around.
All right, they're going to need a really good flash ultimate from Ning, followed up by a Galio ultimate to split the team, and then have JackeyLove use the killer instinct to jump on one of the spread members.
Look at Khan, slicing Maelstrom and Flash available. He's not level 16 yet, but he's spotted out by a ward. SK Telecom are on the verge of handing Invictus Gaming their first defeat at MSI. It didn't seem possible 2 days ago. It didn't seem feasible yesterday. And the manner in which SKT have kept Invictus down is beautiful to watch. Still 100% kill participation for Clid. He's picked up the 4th dragon of the game, and he is leading his team towards victory.
I'm glad that you mentioned Clid because he's the player that I want to keep reminding fans at home about. His early game was fantastic this game. He read the enemy jungle extremely well. He responded and set up a lot of the early game plays, and he is the reason why this team was able to match the often early aggression that IG likes to exert. And while right now in the game, he hasn't done a lot and it's become the FLICKR show, he is the reason why FLICKR is even in this position in the first place.
Are definitely true. Always support your junglers. Give them the credit that they are due. Well spoken, Vedius. Well spoken. Meanwhile, Vision fight over Baron Ning.
Oh my word, that's so much damage. Ning actually starts the initiation, but it's Mata that's forced to run away. He's thrown down the stopwatch to stay alive. Khan will find one onto Ning. Now on the defensive retreat. Oh, that burst damage. Baolan is blown up, and now Rookie gets knocked up into the air by the Fisher. Invictus Gaming are aced by SK Telecom.
That is a clean ace, and that is a clean path to victory. SK Telecom used a teleport on bottom side, and they're going straight for the Nexus.
Invictus Gaming started the all-or-nothing team fight, down over 10,000 gold. And while they got some damage, it was not enough. SK Telecom will hand Invictus Gaming their first loss of MSI.
Revenge is a dish best served at the end of group stages.
Accurate. That is the best way to dish out revenge. SKT will end their group stage 7-3, and they must feel so good right now. The amount of growth that they have made throughout the groups after getting 2-0'd by G2 to then go on a 4-game winning streak, only looking cleaner and cleaner as the games continue. It feels like that they have found their form and they are looking scary moving into the best of 5.
The second seed from the group stages, SK Telecom conceded 2 games to G2 and 1 game to Invictus Gaming. They will advance to the semifinals. And the way that it will work, Invictus Gaming will have 30 minutes to decide whether they want to face Team Liquid or G2 Esports. Once they have made that decision, we will announce it over on twitter.com/LOL Esports. The remainder plays SKT. I mean, I don't even know what direction they want to go. Do they take out G2 because G2 are faltering? Do they go NA and take out TL?
I gotta be honest here. They're picking TL. There's no reason not to pick the 4th seed heading towards the knockout stage.
The question is, can SKT, is this a BO1 moment? Is this SKT ramping up? Do SKT now, do you
In
pick them
my
as
experience
favorites?
with SK Telecom, they get better as the tournament goes on and better as we get to the best of stage. So this is a very scary way for them to end the group stages and a very scary message to the rest of the teams in the tournament.
I completely agree with you, Kobe, and you just look at most recent performance, and I was all hype on G2. I was like, yes, maybe they can make it to the final. They're looking good. My opinion has completely flip-flopped. I have lost so much faith in G2. I'm all aboard the SKT hype train. This team is just
like that?
Just like that. I'm a flip-flopper. I'm gone. Papa Smithy, I believe in you.
We actually did say coming into this event that Vedius does like to pick teams and swords to hinge his life on. And now all of a sudden the G2 one has stabbed you and ended
yes, it has.
your life. 9-1 Invictus Gaming set an MSI group stage record, but they lost to SKT. And to break down the groups and look ahead to the knockout stage, just send it to MSI cooldown.
Welcome to MSI Cooldown. After our last day of groups, I'm Dracos, joined by Spawn and Mark Z, and I want to start this segment by condemning Vedius. You can't just sell out a team when they lose every time.
You think Vedius is condemning people? What are those shoes?
I'm allowed to wear what I want. I've seen your shoes.
I don't think we're allowed to wear what we want because I would look very different.
Okay,
There'd be
look,
pajamas.
what you want is sweatpants and pajamas every day, so
Yes.
it's a little different, all right? It's a little different.
So it's not exactly what we want.
I'm checking it out on program right. I'm blind.
You're right.
They're very white.
Righteous. Well, anyway, as we just saw, SKT came out on top in our last game of groups. The first loss for IG at MSI 2019. Now, the LCK champions had already secured second place, so while Team Liquid advanced to the semifinals with their win against G2, pushing the LEC champions down to third place. And now, gentlemen, IG versus SKT, pretty incredible game. Do you think this is the preview of our finals?
Most likely. But I will say, I think G2 versus SKT is still a potentially good matchup for G2 because they do a lot of interesting things. They are very aggressive, and we've seen SKT sometimes lose to that. It does feel like they are ramping up like we've been saying, so maybe they'll overcome G2.
And not just that, right? No one's pretending that if PvB played G2 right now in a best of 5, that
It's close match?
PvB would win.
Close
Even
match?
though in both of the group stage games, Fongfu Buffalo were able to beat G2. So much in the same vein, I don't think that you could really use all that much of the game. So I still think, IG would handily beat them if that was the finals. In saying that, I am looking forward to the semis and how IG select.
I'm curious to see what they do as well, but you brought up PvB, and I do want to give one last hurrah. Of course, this is the end of MSI 2019 for the Flashfuls and PvB, the representatives of the LMS and the VCS, respectively.
Sadly, my two teams are gone. The LMS representative, the hometown heroes in Fongfu Buffalo, but I think that they can be really proud of how this tournament went for a couple of reasons, especially on the side of Fongfu. As we keep mentioning, I think they've definitively shown that they are the best emerging region coming out. They tested teams. They were able to pick up 2 victories over the LEC representative in G2 Esports, and at different times, just the way they played the game was electric, and it looked like it was challenging other major regions on Summoners Rift.
I mean, even going back to as far as the play-in stage, it's been a long road for them. They were contested in Group A. They had to play a tiebreaker to get out. They went 5 games in the knockout stage of play-ins, and then they come into here and they 2-0 G2, and they almost G2A,
whatever. I mean, we're getting there.
I'm saying that they had a really long tournament and they did very well over the course of it.
I agree. And then on the flip side, you got to have a look at the Flashfuls because we said this is a different LMS representative coming out. A lot of people thought maybe AHQ, maybe Mad Team, who led the league, would be the representative. And I think Flashfuls have done a very good job at this MSI. I don't think this was a team that was ever expected to, make the same waves as they have in the past, but they've certainly performed admirably. And I think new players like Xiaoxi actually proved that on the international stage they're competitive.
I mean, looked very good. I'm actually excited to see how these teams develop moving forward, assuming that they do qualify for Worlds. I want to see if we see Flashfuls level up and be the contender in the past that the previous iterations of Flashfuls was. But as we move through the day, of course, earlier today, at the start of the day, we asked you to submit your haikus summarizing the MSI group stage. Here are some of our favorites. I'll start with this one from Pinnacle KM. Are you ready? Oh man. IG, play for fun. The group stage is almost done. FLICKR, here he comes. Oof, brilliant.
He had a pretty great game.
That's like a prediction.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We got these
It
cards
also
before
rhymes,
the game's ended.
It also rhymes, which is fantastic. And not
Haikus don't need to rhyme.
They don't need to rhyme. I'm just saying that's
overachieving.
They do, however,
super
have
overachieving.
7 syllables in the last line.
Don't tell Cloud9 that. They got theirs real wrong. They got like 7 syllables in the first, 12 in the last.
Look, it's a bit of a struggle. Now, there are more haikus coming. At Zyfrante had faith in hometown favorites. And despite their exit, this haiku is next level.
Mr. Buffalo, don't underestimate him. Stampede is coming and going, apparently. They're eliminated.
They're already where they're from Vietnam. Tournament's in Vietnam. Where are they going?
Well, now they're just staying.
Yeah,
they're chilling. They didn't
The Stampede
want
is
to go to
staying,
Taipei.
is what I'm
Now
saying.
they're just
Oh,
hanging out.
exactly.
Stampede is staying here.
And there's some logistical errors on that travel there.
Exactly. I'm confused.
It's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little loose right now, friends. And the final one is from our broadcast writer, Elias, who totally predicted Team Liquid's win over G2 and has now shoehorned himself into the segment.
He wrote himself
apparently.
in to make me read it.
Go, Mark, go.
I gotta wait for the graphic. All right, there we go. At TL's lowest, when NA fandom goes dry, they find Oasis.
Oh, that is terrible. Never do that.
We are one like black and white image with a cheesy quote away from like being a generic Instagram post.
By the way, like,
Snaps for well done, everybody.
Snaps up for Elias. And of course, thank you everyone who participated. Thank you so much for sending us your haikus on Twitter. And he brought up a good point, because TL have restored the faith. TL have found their oasis, and they found that oasis by beating the crap out of G2. My God, what a one-sided game.
and much like Brett from Flight of the Conchords, TL had it going on in this game. They were everywhere on Summoner's Rift. Their jungler, Smithy especially, stepping up on the job and 1v1 in caps. That was a great performance.
It was the perfect redemption game for North American fans if you're just waking up. Smithy had a great game. The drafts were good. Jensen clowned on Caps, so we got to reverse the, like, maybe stick to Lissandra memes.
Yeah.
Like, everything that fans wanted. Double Lift smashed in lane. He was up, like, 25 CS, ended up 70 CS, like, 20 minutes into the game. So, like, this was, if a NA fan was writing their fan fiction, this is what the game looked like.
I'm just going to say, I assume at this point we've just collectively decided that Jensen definitely said back to Lissandra, to Caps.
Yeah.
Even if he never said it, we can all just agree as a group, as a society, as a fandom, that it happened.
But unfortunately, when there's every like hero has to have a villain, if you're an NA fan, that's going to be G2. They go 0-3 in the last 3 games that they played in groups after such a promising start, after so much hype generated this team. Did peter off a little bit. In saying that, I think best of 5 suits this team even more than best of 1. So I'm still pretty hot on them. I think that they're going to make waves as this tournament progresses.
I think that's definitely true. I think based off where they were 2 or 3 days ago, like, finishing 5-5 does feel like a disappointment. Yeah. It is coming back down to earth a little bit. But to your point, like in a best of 5 where people have to adapt and they get the chances to see what other teams are doing, I think all those players are so smart that like they will come in with more stuff prepared and make better adaptations than most teams.
And they're just mirroring the LEC season, you know, out to a great start. Then they dropped that game versus Origin. But then ask Martin how well, you know, best of 5s versus this team.
Yeah, we can talk about it. They were losing games to Fnatic, they were losing games to Misfits, and then what do you see?
Then TL becomes Origin and get 3-0'd in the knockout stage.
Well, luckily they can't immediately play. We'll see each other in finals.
Right.
Is that what you're playing?
Yeah,
when we meet in finals, we all say fingers crossed. Hopefully, snap, snap. Well, after TL's win today, Shox did catch up with their top laner. Let's see what Impact had to say.
Thank you very much. I am here with Impact after Team Liquid qualifies for the next round of MSI. Impact, congratulations. After 2 years with the team and a lot of hard work, what does it mean to make it to the knockout phase of MSI?
Can I speak Korean actually? 일단 저희가 드디어 일단 MSI 작년 때 좀 많이 안 좋은 모습 보여주다가 그래도 지금도 별로 좀 많이 안 좋은 모습 가끔 나오긴 했는데 그래도 마지막엔 그래도 괜찮은 모습 보여준 것 같아서 다행인 것 같아요.
So it's really happy, especially because last year in MSI we were really doing really bad and bad performance. So, well, in the end, I mean, we were also underperforming in the beginning of the tournament, but in the end we were doing really great. So I'm really happy.
What, in your opinion, changed about the team and within the team that you played so well today versus G2?
그럼 어느 점이 좀 더 나아져서 오늘 G2 상대로 이렇게 좋은 경기력을 보여줄 수 있었나요?
일단 라인전을 안 터졌고요. 저희가 이겼고요. 일단 기본적으로 그게 진짜 중요했던 것 같고 그냥 초반에 저희가 이겨서 그냥 무난하게 굴렀던 것 같아요. 아무리 생각해도 초반이 너무 중요한 것 같고 저희 팀 약점이 집중 못하는 모습 많이 보여줄 때 많단 말이에요. 그거를 없앨 수 있는 게 초반에 집중을 많이 해가지고 이기는 거라 생각해가지고 집중을 많이 했는데 잘 됐던 것 같아요.
So first of all, we didn't get smashed in the laning phase. We actually won the lane. So I think that's the most important thing actually, because early game really matters. And also, the biggest weakness of my team is that we actually lose focus in games. So I think paying attention in early games really helps us a lot. So I think that was the major key.
Okay, well, good identification of what needs to go better. But Impact, I do want to talk about you because the whole tournament, win or lose, you have played so incredibly well at playing almost everyone, doing very well, even in losing games. How do you look back on your performance so far?
그러면 이제 MSI 내내 승패와 상관없이 정말 좋은 경기력을 보여주셨는데 그럼 이번에 MSI 개인적인 그런 경기력에 대한 평가는 어떤가요?
만족은 못하고 있었는데 왜냐면 제가 와 내가 다 이겼다 이런 느낌 아니어서 일단 배울 점도 많고 다른 탑한테도 제가 와 내가 1등이다 이런 느낌 안 들어가지고 만족은 못하고 있어요. 그래도 나쁘지 않게 했는데 더 잘할 수 있을 것 같은 느낌?
Well, I want to say I'm not fully satisfied because I'm not really like I want everybody. I'm still learning from a lot from other top laners, so I don't feel like I'm the #1 top laner here. But at the same time, I did not do that bad. I think I did fairly well, but I'm not like I did so well. I'm the best.
Okay, so gonna get even better. Then tell me about the knockout phase now. Now the best of fives come. What do you think the chances are of Team Liquid in their best form versus the likes of SKT and IG or possibly G2?
그럼 이제 다음 라운드는 이제 다전제잖아요. 다전제에서 또 어떻게 더 나은 모습을 보여주실지 팀 리퀴드의 가능성은 어느 정도인지 궁금합니다.
일단 IG가 저희 찍으면 좀 많이 힘들다고 생각을 하는데 그래도 열심히 할 거고 그냥 저희는 그래도 개인적으로 G2가 가능성이 있다고 생각하죠. 왜냐면 G2가 잘한 팀이고 정말 메카닉이나 그런 거 실력도 좋은데 문제는 거기도 한 번 죽으면 계속 죽는 팀 많아요. 팀원들이. 그래서 그걸 멘탈 수집을 못하는 것 같고 그래서 G2가 가능성이 가장 높고 이길 가능성이 그나마 그다음에 SK 그다음에 IG 순인 것 같아요.
So if IG picks us, it's gonna be really hard. But I think we have a very good chances up against G2 because actually, I mean, they're all good players. Their mechanics are really good. But at the same time, when they start dying, they just die consecutively in games. So I think we have a very high chance up against them, and then SKT, and then followed by IG.
Okay, yeah, G2 would be, of course, down the line. But thank you very much. In fact, congratulations. Thank you, Jisun, as well. And now over to MSI Cooldown.
First semifinal is now coming up this Friday. Thank you, Sharks, for that one. IG will be taking on Team Liquid. I'm sorry, Impact, it happened. Followed by SKT's matchup against G2 the day after. Now, the winners will advance to the final and battle it out on Sunday for the MSI 2019 title. Now, Spawn, when you look at this, when you see Invictus Gaming almost snap-picking TL, keep in mind they had 30 minutes to do it, and they did it in like 5, so clearly they knew what they want. What is your immediate reaction?
Mild shock.
There's any shock?
That was like no shock.
Yeah, that was like.
I'm sorry, man.
Deadpan.
I thought that they were going to do you a real.
I wanted
solid
at least surprise
Pikachu,
and I feel like you were like meh.
There's like the thing that like you're trying to tell yourself was like they're gonna increase the chance that they see SKT to the highest because they can't pick them. So you pick G2 because there's no way Team Liquid beats SKT. So then you're guaranteed.
I feel like it's very clear that the coaches were the ones making the decision on this and not Rookie. Rookie's like, give me go.
They did not ask the players at all. That's why it took 5 minutes. They didn't head back to the locker room. They just instantly
literally
were like,
backstage like, give us this guy. It's already locked.
Yeah.
All right, well, G2 with an extra day to reset. The big question is, can they take down SKT? Remember, the stakes are up, the pressure is up. It's been, I would say, very shaky for G2 the last few days. I feel like Perks and Mythy have been getting kind of blasted in the last few games, and the whole team really felt lost in that TL game.
Yeah, I think there are some problems with the team, but it's like you kind of take the good with the bad, I think, with G2, where like you can't expect them to play Pyke and make crazy stuff happen if you're not willing to accept when they sometimes try to dive a turret with Corki and get juked 3 times and miss all their skill shots and die. Like those are the same, that's the same coin, it's just different sides showing up. So like, I think they do play super aggressive, and I want that against SKT. I think that, you know, if they have a bad game, I don't want to see Perks and Mickey go to Ezreal Tom Kench again. I don't think that's really their style. Like they should be on playmakers. Mickey's so good at starting fights.
Yeah, and you're just really hoping that Clid has cooled off in a couple of days break because you don't want to get him in the form that he just showed against the Invictus Gaming lineup. I think that is going to be the telltale matchup. If they get Clid playing good, I think that this is an exciting matchup. I think if they get Clid playing great, it becomes a very SKT favored series.
Which I'm kind of surprised about, given how SKT entered the tournament. I was very skeptical, but Papa Smithy ended up being right. They have been ramping up. They have been looking better.
The thing is that Clid is like their entire early game. You saw that game play. He just visited all the lanes and was starting to take over. This is a guy that in the LPL was doing the same things. And whilst Papa did mention that he had never beaten Invictus Gaming, he had already had great matches against both IG and RNG. So there was no question of the caliber of this player in the hectic scenario that the game was being played.
That's true, and the other thing I think that has helped unlock Clid even more is it's no longer Sonateric, it's no longer Azir in the mid lane, the Aurelia, the LeBlancs, all these more aggressive champions. Even the Ryze in some ways has better
Faker's
setup.
Ryze.
Yeah, like Faker's Ryze is so good. So like I like that they have given more tools to the people around Clid, so Clid can just go and show up in these lanes and win them for his team.
Well, I'm excited to see how it shapes up. Well, of course, you can watch IG versus TL from 3 a.m. Pacific time on Friday. That is 12 p.m. Central European Summer Time, with cooldown starting 30 minutes before. Now, for myself, the casters, the entire broadcast team, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Friday for the first semifinal. Good night.
Like my dinosaur socks.
Yeah, I got luchador cats. SKT facing down Team Liquid. One spot remaining. Team Liquid fighting for their lives, fighting for the final spot in that bracket stage, in those playoffs. For North America to fall flat here would be a massive disappointment to the LCS player base. Forcing out the Devour, Tom catching out the flash out to safety, spits him right back out. Double flash for his life. Core JJ may just be the sacrificial catfish here. Tom connects, and he will now go down. The thick scan buys a bit of time, but it is not enough. SKT still gonna look to close out with confidence. Teddy gonna grab a kill. Galio into the backline, powered up by the Lucian. Double it immediately deleted. It is an absolute slaughter. Just delete the wave, but now wants to step forward. Caps on the backside, though. Just deletes Big Koro.
No flash anyone, no flash anyone. I flash out, I flash out. Anyone, no flash anyone. Okay, I go Varus. Yeah. Coming. No flash, no flash. You can penta. One more.
Nice. Shut down onto Wonder, steals the ulti away, dashes to the side. Beautiful footwork, and now it's Yanko's in trouble. Allen with the predict. Ignited, and goodbye to Caps, goodbye to G2's hopes in this game. The dream is alive and well. The race for fourth is very much alive after that Fong Blue Buffalo win. For Flashwolves, this game is hugely important. Eddie now trying to fire back in the trade. The Ignite comes out. That is a big Acathian Ray. Ning on the way in, but the Jungler's here as well. If Ning tries to commit, he may go down too. Boogie gonna get the knockup, and another kill going down for Flashwolves.
Hanabi might die.
Hanabi taking so much damage, forced to smite the Baron here. Boogie now in trouble as well. Can they secure the shutdown? The Baron going to fall to IG. Absolute disaster for the Flashwolves.
Here comes Big Koro. The allure by some piercing arrow. Secures a kill for Big Koro. Killista throws it down. Rather will sidestep the chain of corruption of Flashwolves. They've created the chaos. Now they're looking for the re-engage. Boogie is trying to turn this around. That's one, that's two. But to stay alive, Khan will find one onto Ning. Now on the defensive retreat. That burst damage. Baolan is blown up, and now Rookie gets knocked up into the air by the Fisher. Invictus Gaming are aced by SK Telecom.
IG Wrath was Swift. Sylas is not good blind. Fourth, paid by Steve.
That bottom tower is going to Jensen. Gets the solo kill onto Caps.
Oh my god, Jensen's popping off. Like, I need to stay calm.
He's already flashed, now he's Belt. Ignite is ticking down. Here comes Impact. Belt forward. That should be enough to take out Caps.
I'm out.
80 might be that. No. 80 dead.
Double lift, and Team Liquid advance to the semi-finals.
What a turnaround for Team Liquid.
I don't think it could have been any more perfect. Thank you guys, and hopefully we'll crush it in the knockout stage.